Spawning in the bottom hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the right hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing T1. It is herO. What do you have for us? What do you have as... Yeah, I saw the rally. I saw the rally of the minimap, and herO goes directly to the center of the map, going for the proxy pylon. We got some shenanigans. Let's go, baby, let's go. Setting up here with the proxy gateway is a very aggressive build, hoping to catch an economic opener at a Clem. Now, winding it back here, welcome to the Old Republic. Old Republic is a relatively large map in the map pool, but it does have a very open third and fourth base, right? It has aggressions typically favored in the mid game, but in the early game, like, we typically expect greed out of our players because of the size of the map. So there's a very high chance that Clem is going to go for a single gas opener into a Rax expand. A very, very high chance. And the hope for herO is that that is the case, so we can try to punish Clem. If Clem blindly plays safe, maybe assuming that herO would be a little bit cheeky, then Clem would have the advantage. He'd be able to have faster attack and a stronger defense, and he'd be able to shut this down. But as we can see here, only one gas is taken. It looks like we are going for the command center. Here we go. So like a calculated risk here from herO, as he assumed that we'd be seeing something more economic out of Clem, whereas Zelda's being chronoed. Now, Clem does not SCV scout just now. Okay, just now going to be scouting with the SCV. There's that CC on the low ground, as we did mention. This worker is scouting directly across the map. Will not spot the gateway. Will eventually confirm that something is wrong at least, but it's going to be a later delayed scout out of Clem. But at least there is a scout. It's very common in TvP to just not worker scout and just wait for the Reaper instead, or sometimes even just wait for the Hellion to scout. SCV does spot the Nexus. Ooh, does not get eyes on the gateway though. So still playing blind. Zelda moves out, so the Reaper will barely miss Zelda as well. Was checking for a proxy location on the right hand side at the third. And here comes the second Zelda. We got two Zeldas already and a Stalker that's halfway done. It's being chronoed as we speak. Reaper thankfully stays home. Okay. Reaper does stay home. That first Zelda is taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage. Can we deny the bunker? Can we deny? Zelda's buying time. First SCV goes down. He gets one. He gets one SCV, the other SCV is quite low. Stalker should be rallying in, but the bunker may be able to finish in time as we have more boys. Yeah, the boys have been pulled, and the bunker should finish. Yeah, the bunker should finish here in one more second, and with the bunker completing, Clem holds. Clem Keats will lose 4 SCVs, well, sorry, 3. We'll lose a decent chunk of workers, and even here losing a Marine in the main base as well. Oh my god. So nice harassment here by herO, making the best out of a bad situation. Does kill a Marine, does kill 3 SCVs. Behind this, we bust into the middle line, 5 workers going down, and denies mining. This is getting a little bit out of hand. Remember, behind this, hero's not all in, herO expands. Here he has a natural base. Behind this, going for the Twilight Council as well, keeping Clem busy. Can we catch out another Marine? We can. Yeah, another Marine goes down, and maybe another here as well. Yeah, for sure. Jesus. He takes out all the Marines. Every Marine falls. The Reaper's on its own. Does dive into the bunker just barely. The Hellion is very low, and these are some rough losses here for Clem. And herO, he is not done. He's still reinforcing. He's still just reinforcing early on, still keeping the pressure up. And keeping Clem contained. You can see Clem, he wants to be active with the Hellions at least. Ooh, and he will catch a Stalker. Yeah, barely one Stalker is going to go down. Hellions, they break free. They break free. Happy to wait force a recall. There's one Stalker back at home. There's nothing here. Forces a lift up. Ooh, so sure, Clem, he breaks out and he counterattacks, but now he cannot mine from his natural. Ay, was this worth it? He can 2-shot. There's one. No. Only one shot. Only one volley. The aggression is denied. 0 damage from the Hellions. Boys are being pulled. And herO takes a lead. Here he does take a very nice lead here. How many SCVs have gone down? 7. 7 SCV kills. These Marines as well. The Hellion just rallies into the Stalkers. Clem will lose every fighting unit. There's nothing left. Now we got a tank. Now we got a Banshee. But they're forced to reveal themselves. They are revealed. DT follow-up. That's really smart. Oh no, we solved the proxy, by the way. So the issue right now, we should see a mule. Why? Because Clem lost so much. Clem, he lost what? 7 SEV, so he has to mule. And because he muled, bam, DT walks in. DT walks in. Now, thankfully, there's a Raven that's halfway done. The Raven will help, but there is no scan available. We just had some fresh mules in the main base as well. And do we go for the SEVs? Do we go for the tank? The tank will be a very nice pick up. Oh, we're on a move. herO. Yeah, GG. GG gets called. 0 detection, no scan. And herO, he does take game number 1. GG. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. This was a really good example of just a herO game, right? Where herO, he kind of mind games you a little bit. He assumed that Clem would be greedy, so he does punish that greed. Hyper aggression as well, just picking off SCVs one at a time. Didn't deny the bunker. True, when the bunker finished, I thought that was it, right? I thought that Clem would hold and the game would continue, but no, herO, his Zelt got into the main base, distracted Clem. The Stalkers walked behind the mineral line, was able to get more SCV kills, and on top of that, we saw that Clem, he got punished for breaking out. I'm referring to the moments where Clem moved up with the Hellions. The moment that occurred, he had to lift up his natural, right? Because he had nothing to defend. He took a big risk there, and the Hellion harass wasn't worth it. He didn't kill anything. So herO, he attacks, he defends, and with that, herO takes a lead in the series. And now let's get into game number 2. And likewise, of course, the cherry on top was the DT follow-up, because he knew that Clem would be muling because of the early economic damage. That was just a 1-2 punch, 0 scan, GG. Really couldn't have done it with Raven. The Raven would eventually defend, but by the time Raven comes out, either the tank is killed in a couple of SCVs or like 4 SCV kills. The problem is that because the Raven was only halfway done, by the time that you defend, you're already behind and you'd lose even more, and then you'd fall further behind. And in Clem's mind, and I think in my mind as well, you'd fall behind enough to the point where, because you're playing against the best Protoss player in the world, like you can't recover from that anymore, right? Like at a certain point, you hit like a threshold of damage where, based on your judgment of who you're up against, like the likelihood of being able to recover from that position is very, very low, right? You could argue that if like maybe if Clem was playing against like maybe like a Zaun or like a Showtime, and of course no disrespect to those players, but like again, there's like a higher chance of maybe recovering depending on who you're up against. But if you're against like herO or Classic or Max Packs, against like the top 3 in the world, like yo, it was it was a rough position. Yeah. But that like influences kind of like, again, that threshold of how much damage you can sustain like at any given point in the game. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're going to be loading into 10,000 feet for game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. So we're jumping to game number 2. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. Down in the series, we'll see if we can bounce back. We'll see if we can make a series out of this. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself, the South Green Protoss representing T1. It is herO. Whew. Let's go. Let us go. Here is up 1-0 in the series, but I should also mention as well, as dominance as game 1 was, it all came down to the openers, to be honest. As we mentioned, it came down to, I mean, the execution as well, of course, but with that, herO was able to gain the lead in the series. Moving forward here, especially on a smaller map, we could see a safer build out of Clem, or he might just believe that herO would not proxy 2 games in a row, and he might still go for the Rax expand. So eyes are on Clem. But what I was going to get at here is that Clem is the best Terran in the world, so we do expect these two to go back and forth. That's typically their dynamic. Regardless of who wins, it's often going to the ace match, going to game 3. That's what we're hoping for, at least. For now, economic opener. So same build here by Clem, going Rax expand. You could argue it's a bold move, but once again, here he's not proxying 2 games in a row, so Clem will be able to comfortably get into the early and mid game. In game 1, Clem wasn't really able to play out his game at all. Here in game 2, Clem should be looking a lot more comfortable, as he will go for the SCV scout and expand. Behind this, herO going for a standard opener, just a gate expand into Cybercore, so standard stuff here out of herO. We can settle into our games, and welcome to 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet is a smaller map, shorter rush distance by ground. I will say that this map does have more defendable bases. So we have a very, very kind of tight-knit, natural third and fourth base. The distance between these bases is very, very short, so rotating is much easier as the defending player. We also have the high ground here outside of the third, outside of the natural. That's the Clem. As we go for a bunker on the high ground here behind the natural, cheeky moves out of Clem. Now, herO, I'm sure with his pylon, he noticed the SCV coming in. He should recognize that the SCV is missing. Yeah, he's looking and he finds it. He does find the SCV. As I mentioned, this pylon did scout the worker, and he noticed that the worker was nowhere to be found, and now he does find it, and he should deny the bunker. It's going to be close. And it's going to be close. Reaper does make it in time. Stalker moves in, and the bunker will finish. Yeah, the bunker will barely finish here. Again, it was a late scout out of herO. Did realize a little bit too late. And mining will be denied. Shouldn't kill any probes, but should deny mining at the natural base. As you can see, herO is oversaturated in the main. He is oversaturated, as he cannot mine from the natural. Behind this, ooh, Stargate opener. Cheeky moves out of herO. And we'll see if Clem dives. Clem has no idea, and remember, Stargate openers are very uncommon. Typically, Twilight Council plays standard, Stargate is not, so Clem, he needs to scout this. He needs to scout, needs to confirm. And now the Reaper's being pinned down. Is doing a lot of damage, don't get me wrong. Is denying a lot of mining. Even doing whole damage to the Stalker. Oh my god. Here's sustaining a little hull damage here. Nice target firing. Bunker finally goes down. Ooh, does finally catch the Reaper as well. And there was no scout. There was no scout. Back across the map, what do we have to defend? The natural base is being saturated. We have plenty of Marines here in the center. The Oracle does move out, and the Oracle will run past the Marines. And there's no Cyclone, but there is a Widow Mine. You see, there is a Widow Mine here in the main. Mining is denied. Getting one, getting two SCVs. Mine shot will go off. Very nice. So nice defense. Oracle goes down. That was not worth of a herO. And now Clem knows. Now Clem is aware of the Stargate. That is a very rough start for herO. Denied mining and losing the Oracle as well. 3 SCVs is not worth it. That is not worth it. So better start for Clem. He has a better start. Oh. The pressure's on herO. Oh, well. Okay. I was gonna say the pressure's on herO to do something crazy, and he is doing something crazy, going for the early fleet beacon. Let's go, vibe, let's go. I'm imagining a carrier rush here out of herO. We have seen this from players like Rebellion, of course. Oh, Nitro going up. We've seen this played around with a little bit by Classic, but often Classic, I mean, he's very fond, especially last year, he was very fond of rushing into fleet beacons and rushing into SkyToss and TvP whenever he could. We'll see if herO can get away with it. No, wait, sorry. This might just be for the mothership. True. What do you have for us? Is this purely for the mothership, or are we actually going into any... Are we making use of our Stargate? Yeah, there it is. Just a mothership. Okay. So just a mothership rush. This is going to be for timing. Phoenix goes down. Massive pickup. herO miscontrol. Yeah, it does miscontrol here. So basically, we're going for one kind of big... We can do one of two things here. We can have a big recall timing, where we can just recall into the main base and just go for the production. Or we can, of course, make use of Cloak and try to avoid some shots and try to break through the siege line and get on top of the tank. So we'll see how herO makes use of the mothership, whether we recall or Cloak. And behind this, going for a singular Tempest as well. Sure, why not? I mean... Popping out a couple of Tempests. Again, this is very, very risky. herO doesn't really have much on the ground to defend, even claiming a third base behind this as well. But Clem is stuck at home, right? For now, at least. At least until Stim finishes. When Stim is done, combat chills, and Clem can break out. Whether or not herO can stop this breakout, I don't know if he can. Because of the decision to go into Tempest and SkyToss in such a way, it means there's no splash damage, right? There's no Storm, there's no Colossus. Or, on the flip side, there's no Gateway Explosion, and there's no, like, mass amount of charge lots, right? There are multiple ways to deal with this kind of move out, with splash damage or with a mass amount of gateways, but herO has none of that. herO is very vulnerable at the moment. And here comes a move out. Clem moves out. herO wants Clem to turn around. Clem, he ignores this. Just keeps moving out, just keeps pushing. He scouts, he sees. Yeah, now he knows. Now he knows what's going on. Dusts him in, catching out the Stalker. Yeah, Stalker goes down. Where's the Cloak? Oh, losing a sentry as well. Cloak after the first units go down. And Clem, he should have done it here. He should have done it. I mean, he has done it, I mean. He's caught out the Stalkers, and from here he can just rally across the map. There's just not much here on the ground or in the sky. Clem, we can just rally. We can rally, baby. Nice positioning with the Tempest, though, and this is free damage. But you can see that Clem wants to lure the army out into the open, and then bam, stim. Wants to lure him out. Maestro connects, very nice. Maestro does connect. Clem still sharking around. There are 2 more Widow Mines. Now, what's scary to me here is that with Clem backing off and not trying to break the third base in this position, here is building up a terrifying amount of Tempest, and we have a Templar Archives on the way. We're working towards Storm. Like, there's still a window here. There's still a very comfortable window for Clem to try to kill herO pre-Storm, but that window is slowly closing, which is my concern. It's still a ways away. Still a ways away. Until then, Clem is still fine. Here we go, going for the Doom Drop. This army is very immobile for herO. Very immobile. As here he does turn back around to his third, and Clem does not drop into the main. What's the plan? Clem, he reveals his army, which means herO can come in. Uh-oh. Clem, he has to get out of here. Yeah, he needs to leave. We just gotta leave. Get out of here, Pat. Does pick up, does pull away. Tumble Archives is now done. No Storm yet. Instead, just Archons. I mean, Charge Archon isn't bad. It's a supportive army. True. It is supportive. herO, does he catch at the Medivacs? Oh, he sees! He gets one! Yeah, one Medivac goes down. Gets up with the tank as well. Ooh, not quite. Tank does pull away in time. Gee, that's a lot of Vikings. 12 Vikings already. Cloak is activated. Tank does get one shot off. And that's a lot of fire on the ground. There's a lot of fire. Not much anti-air. Mothership goes down. And Clem can just keep pushing. Can just keep pushing here. Takes down the Mothership. Takes down most of the Zealots. Clem does pick up half his army though. Uh-oh. He's only got half. herO, he can take a fight. He's going to keep pushing. Back at home. Do we have a defensive warp in? That does have the recall. It does recall back home. That's 11 probe kills. That's a lot of damage. Nothing shoots up here, actually. Oh. Mainly Marauder. And my concern here, I mean, this was some nice damage. 12 probes did go down. But how many Tempests do we have? 7. That's a scary amount of Tempest, and this space is so vulnerable to siege units, whether it's tanks, Tempests, Liberators, Broodlords, anything can punish the space so hard. Ay, ay, ay. That's 7 Tempests, baby. The Vikings, they catch one. One Tempest goes down. Not bad. But Zelsa overwhelmed, and hero's doing it. No shot. GG. GG, well played. Here he does. He breaks on through the front line, and herO, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. herO, he will claim the series. Again, Clem, there was a window of opportunity for him to break through, and I was very surprised that he turned back around. I understand that he was respecting the cloak, of course. I'm referring to the moment when Clem pushed through the center and pushed up the ramp, and when the first cloak was activated. After he killed, what was it, a Stalker and a Sentry, or 2 Stalkers in a Sentry. Like, he had a really good trade initially, then cloak activated, he backed off, and then he raced back home. I feel like there was an opportunity there to try to press the issue, because as we saw, the longer the game goes on, the more Tempest you amass up, and we got up to 7 Tempest towards the end. We got up to critical mass, and of course the ground supportive army, not into Storm but into Charger Archon instead, which did do its job. GG. GG, well played with that. Congratulations. herO, he will advance on to the grand finals. Clem is out, and we have a best of 5 finals here between herO and Classic. Oh boy. Oh, momentum. We are going to be going on a short break. Going to be going on a short break here. Going to be going on a short 5-minute break, and when we come back, we'll have our best of 5. We'll have that final series between herO and Classic. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon, baby. See you soon.